Hey there, this is Mike from Guitar Essentials, and in this video we're going to show you 5 licks that every guitarist should know. Let's get started. Alright, so the first lick I'm going to show you sounds like this. So in this lick, what we're doing is we're doing a bend on the 7th fret of the 3rd string. And I'm using my 2nd and 1st finger to reinforce, so to make the bend a little bit easier. Now the sound of the bend is a full bend, so that means it goes up 2 notes. I'm on a D note, and it's going to go to an E note. So it should sound the pitch of E. It should sound like that note. And then you do a bar on the 2nd and 1st strings at the 5th fret. Now in the right hand, I'm just doing down picking. Now the other thing to be concerned with is if you're using distortion, it depends if you want the notes to bleed. So what I mean is, it sounds kind of muddy unless you're going for that sound. So what I do is I do the bend, and then I roll my finger. Just to clean up the sound. So this particular lick, and all the licks that I'm going to show you, are in A minor pentatonic. You definitely want to try them in all different keys. Again, A minor pentatonic, in case you don't know, is this scale. The other licks will also use this pentatonic, what I call form 2. So it's good to know those so that you know where you are in the scale pattern. Anytime you learn any of these licks, try to make them your own or build on different scale patterns. So for instance, taking that lick, you could do these 2 notes together, and that creates a double stop. Very common in Chuck Berry's music, or tons of different artists who have played these licks. Then you could do extensions on the licks. So definitely experiment once you learn a lick and kind of make it your own. The second lick we're going to talk about sounds like this. Very simple. What we're doing is a bend similar to the first lick, where we're using our 3rd finger. Again, you could use your 2nd and 1st finger to reinforce. Same type of bend, full bend. And when you come down from the bend, you release it to a pull off. So bend up, release the bend back down, and then pull off. So you only pick once. And then you hit the last note, which is the 7th fret on the 5th string. Now you can pick more notes if you want. So that's just articulating it different. So you can experiment with that as well. Now once you learn this, I like to do it in the different octaves. So, or what I call octave transfers. So for instance, it starts on a D note and bends to an E. Well, we can do that same thing here. So on the 5th string, 5th fret, pull off to the 3rd fret, and then you end on the 5th fret of the 6th string. Now you may want to pull the bend downward, because if you bend up, you might bend off the fretboard. And then also learn it here. So that's 1st string, 10th fret, and ending on the second string, 10th fret. This is a great little lick, which also will segue us into the third lick. The third lick is an interesting lick, very similar to the last one we did. Stevie Ray Vaughan used it in The Sky is Crying. However, it's in a different key. Here's the lick. All right, so much like lick 2, we do the same type of bend. We're on the 10th fret though of the first string. We use our third finger with the reinforcers. When you bring the bend, when you release the bend, you pick the 8th fret of the first string, as opposed to pulling off. And then you hit the 10th fret of the second string. And then you have the shape of a minor chord. It would be an A minor chord. It goes 8, 10, 9 on the first, second to third string. So 8, 10, 9. And then you end on the 8th fret of the second string. And you can give it a little vibrato. Next, we're going to get into the fourth lick, but before we do that, if you haven't subscribed already, please do, and turn on that notification bell. It really helps the channel and keeps you updated on future videos. So lick 4 is a very common lick, and it goes like this. So this lick was used by Jimmy Page in Stairway to Heaven, but instead of doing it in the 5th position, it's the same key. He does it at the 17th fret. Starts with this note first, and then does it, so it's... So this is how this works, and all it really is an A minor arpeggio. So we start on the 8th fret of the first string, and we pull off to the 5th fret of the first string. And then we hit the 5th fret of the second string. You can pick all those notes. I prefer to pull off. If you picked them, kind of sounds like Mission Impossible. Practice that slow. Build up your speed. And again, if you're playing in distortion, make sure you're rolling your finger, kind of rocking it back and forth so you don't get this sound. Unless you want that muddier sound. It depends on what you're looking for. So the 5th lick sounds like this. So this is how we do this. We start on the 7th fret of the 3rd string. We pick the note and slide to the 9th fret. Then with our second finger, we hit the 2nd string 8th fret. And then we go back to that 9th fret on the 3rd string and slide back to 7. Then we hit the 5th fret of the 3rd string. And then we hit the 7th fret of the 4th string. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope it helped out a lot. There will be more future videos. Please subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell. We'll see you in the next lesson.